My name is Bill Phelps, and this is my wife, Doris Phelps. We have been married 65 years, and we live here in Paris, Texas. We have 13 grandchildren. It's split about half and half boys and half girls. And we have 20 great-grandchildren, and they're the same way. There may be a few more girls than there are boys, but we have 20 great-grandchildren. Both of us grew up in Wichita Falls. And in fact, we lived side by side. We were neighbors.
I didn't like Bill. I liked Don. And Bill was a smart aleck. He was always saying something smart to me.
Bill, is that the truth? Were you always saying something smart to Doris?
Yeah.
And so he graduated high school, and he wanted to know if I'd go on a date with him, a blind one. Well, I knew who I was going with. I wasn't too happy at the time, but anyway, I went.
How old were you then?
I wasn't.
About 14 or 15.
We went on that date, so it wasn't long before we just started dating. He had a brand new 1949 Ford, very pretty. And I remember he had blue lights, and I used to stand at the step and wait for him to go inside because I like to see him use those stoplights. One night while we were dating, he said, how would you like to be a preacher's wife? And I always thought I wanted to be a missionary, which I feel like I was as a pastor's wife.
I had asked her how would she feel about being married to a preacher. That's what she's talking about. And she really wasn't in favor of that. So I didn't bring the subject up anymore. I just went ahead and we dated and ultimately married in a few years. And then I surrendered to preach. I didn't surrender to preach until after we were married.
Okay.
So I trapped her.
She had no other choice now.
Yeah, she had to be a preacher's wife then.
That's right.
We married in 1950. She was pretty young when we married. She was just 16 when we married, and I was 20.
We married in my home because that's what I wanted in the house.
Okay.
We hid the car because we knew we had some brothers and friends that was going to probably mess it all up. You know, we were leaving for Colorado that night.
We slipped out the back door after the reception, and we were gone before people realized that we were gone. On our honeymoon, we went to Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Went to Pikes
Went up Pikes Peak and Royal Gorge and all of those tourist things that were there. We were only gone about 3 or 4 days on our trip, and we came home then and went back into the routine of work and family. We have tried to live our lives in such a way that we would be an example to others. We have tried to stay faithful to the Lord, but we want to leave an understanding in the lives of our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids that there is no better way to live life than to put God first and serve Him.